What's up, investors? It's Mike from MJF Invest. Today's video is going to be about Slack, ticker symbol WORK. But before I get into Slack, please hit that like button. An early thumbs up really helps me out on the YouTube algorithm. Also consider subscribing to the channel for future content and clicking that bell notification so you're notified when I upload a new video. That kind of stuff really goes a long way helping me build the channel, and any support is really appreciated. Let's talk stocks in the comment section. Slack is a collaboration hub that brings the right people, information, and tools together to get work done, from Fortune 100 companies to corner markets. Millions of people around the world use Slack to connect their teams, unify their systems, and drive their business forward. In other words, Slack is looking to replace email in the workplace. If you've ever worked for a company, you know how, especially on a large scale, how much email is exchanged, communications from department to department, especially on large projects or large scale companies. Slack really is looking to replace that method, and they are doing so. They have a very impressive customer base, a growing customer base, very interactive users. There's very high customer retention. They have a lot of very good stuff going on. I'm also going to go over some of the concerns. There would be risk associated to Slack. But stick around till the very end of the video. We could, because I'm going to cover quite a bit. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, so you should be doing all your own research. Ultimately, it's your decision whether you want to buy or sell any of the stocks I talk about, or any of the YouTubers really that you watch. You should be doing all your own due diligence and making these decisions on your own. This is my opinions, things I found important based on the research that I've done. And this is just my opinions. I just recently watched the company investor presentation, which was given by company CEO Stuart Butterfield. Stuart Butterfield is a very sharp guy. I really like this guy. I watched a bunch of interviews with him. He's a very sharp guy. I watched a bunch of interviews with him. He's very well respected. A guy like Chamath Palihapitiya had great things to say about him.
Now, one of our biggest investments is a company called Slack. And I still think to myself, why did we not just lead every single round and write the entirety of the fund into that company? It was obvious from day one that Stuart Butterfield is an iconic CEO and that Slack is going to be one of the most important tech companies in the world.
At the end of that statement, Chamath also talks about regrettably not fully funding Slack when he had the opportunity. So he is involved in this. He sits on the board. I believe Social Capital owns 10% of Slack, and he is a big Slack bull, which is, which makes me raise my eyebrow. When I know Chamath is involved in something, I at least take a look to see if it's something for me. I'm going to get into the reasons why I am not currently invested in Slack. It could change. I'm right there. They're towards the top of my watch list, but just to get this up front and out of the way, Microsoft Teams is a direct competitor. There are also businesses like Facebook's in this space, WhatsApp. Slack clearly has the most user-friendly product, and from what I understand, I've watched several reviews and several comparisons. Seems like they have the best product. Slack has 10 million users per day, half of which are outside the United States. So this is they have a global footprint. Billions of hours are used annually, and that number is growing. They have roughly 88,000 paid subscribers, Fortune 100 companies all the way to corner markets. Slack could be used for, something as simple as the sales department, keeping sync with the marketing department. Stuart Butterfield used an example of when they were landing the Oracle deal. He talked about how landing, at the time, Oracle would have been their second biggest customer. So he was a little bit nervous, and he never had to once get updated or have to be briefed by any of his employees, because he could just log right onto his Slack account. Nobody ever had to spend time. He was always in the loop. He touched on how efficient and how much time the product saves, and how it increases productivity. He also touched on how it gives employees insights on where their work fits in the bigger picture. So it changes the way that we work inside the workplace. So it's a really cool product, really innovative. I love the idea. Stuart Butterfield also touched on how trillions of dollars of the GDP is mediated by email, works so poorly within companies. They aim to replace emails with messages and inboxes with channels. It's very simple, and it's a very revolutionary idea. It's like one of those things you manage without it, and then once you have it, you wonder how you ever got on without it, you know, and that's kind of what technology does, and that's what makes it so cool and revolutionary. I could definitely see Slack fitting in that realm, to be where it becomes essential to do business. But again, the risk is associated. When you have a giant like Microsoft that operates in the space, you just have to pay attention to it. I'm not confident enough that they're going to win that to make an investment at this time. I have to peel back some more layers to do some more research in the financials and some of the projections before I made an investment. But I am a very big fan of the product. I love the idea, and I just wanted to bring it to your attention. Some people are very confident, like I touched on. ARK buys this stock it seems like every day. And got people like Chamath Palihapitiya are bulls. Who am I to say otherwise? I have decided to pass on this investment for that reason. If I'm wrong about that, somebody please explain to me why down in the comments below. But I am certainly a fan of the idea and the technology. Chamath, I also heard him say that in the enterprise space, that these companies spend too much money to acquire customers, and the reason that he loves Slack so much, he named two companies. It was Slack and Zoom. He had said that the reason he was so attracted to them, or the reason that he believes that they will be the winners in this enterprise space, was because they spend no money to acquire customers, and it's just he viewed that as a flaw in, you know, some of these companies' business models. You know, just to put it poorly. So he liked that over the long haul. So if you are going to invest in this company, understand that this is more of like a dimmer than a light switch. You won't wake up one day and it'll just be like $100. This will slowly grow. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love companies like that. But just the fact with the uncertainty, with Microsoft Teams being there, and they're going to continue they are growing as well. Microsoft Teams platform is growing, and it seems like Microsoft is really starting to focus on it. So I would expect a real competition. Would have to be more sure to make a significant investment, but I just wanted to bring to your attention. Thank you for watching. Please hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel for future content, and let's talk stocks in the comment section.